Guess what time it is? If you guessed it's lilac season and it's time to make lilac wine and lilac jelly and lilac water, you are right. So let's get going. This is our journey. Welcome to the Betancourt's homestead. We're prepping and cleaning them, and I'll show you how I do that. But first I might just say, I had absolutely no intention of doing this, but my father-in-law decided he was going to pick his tree and bring them all over. All of them. Well, just one bucket. So this is what we have to work with. He has got a different variety of lilac than I do, and I prefer his variety over when I'm making the lilac jams or jelly and anything else that I use with lilac. It's a better product than the ones I have on my land. I don't know, call me crazy. But first, we fill a pot with water. Now that we have the water filled, we take each one in cold water and gently submerge it. We're just trying to get rid of all the bugs, all the little floaty bugs. So after they've remained underwater long enough that bugs can't hold their breath, then we shake them out. And we put them in here to drip drain. After they have drip dried here, then they go over on a towel. And they dry a little bit more. And then we start plucking the petals off one by one. That's the fun part. Now that they're all laying here drip drying, I contacted my brewer friend, and he's going to come pick up his parts because, you know, he brings me the spent grains. I help him with what he wants, and he doesn't have a lilac bush. So now what we're doing, because I want to make lilac jelly, is we are gently picking the flower petals, the whole flower, off, and we're going to put them in a container, and we're going to make water with them just by soaking them and adding them to some water. We're going to make lilac water, lilac jelly, making lilac jelly tomorrow, so be prepared. These are the ones I'm saving for making the jelly, so I'm going to start plucking these for him and prepping them so when he comes, he can just take the petals. That's how you clean the lilacs to get them ready for preserving. There you go. We should freeze dry some. What do you think? I don't know. Could be. I'm excited because lilac jelly is so good. Let's make some lilac jelly. What do you say? I got my lilacs and I'm going to take the petals off of them. It's quite simple. Let me show you how. I'm going to try and show you what you want on the petals. So you want to take each petal off, and you don't want, if you do a whole bunch of them, you get the stem. Oh, it's not going to work because you're here. Like some people go like this, and you get the whole stem, and then they'll go like this. Oh, and there you go. And you have these little tiny stem things. You don't want those. You just want the actual petal right there. So I'm going to get busy and taking all of the petals off, and then we're going to do the next step. Easy peasy. And this is where you turn on a good book. Now we're going to add 5 cups of boiling water to this pot. 4 cups of the petals that I just took an hour taking apart. Stir it around. Cap the puppy. Put it on the back burner. You don't even have to have the stove on. Walk away, because when it cools down, you're going to stick it in the refrigerator, and in 8 hours, we're going to come back. Actually, we're going to come back tomorrow, probably. Welcome to tomorrow. Now we're going to strain it. So I have a container that I'm going to be making the jelly in, and I have a strainer with a filter, and I'm just going to gently scoop and pour this in, and we'll filter it out, and then we'll start making the jelly. It's kind of like the reverse method of making coffee, if you get my drift. So now that I have it all strained, I'm going to put it on and start heating it up. I'm going to, remember, I started with 4 cups of lilacs with 5 cups of hot water. I'm going to add half a cup of lemon juice. I'm also going to add 8 cups of sugar over here and 2 pectins. And then, because this is what I like, I'm going to get the caviar out of here, and we're gonna add some vanilla bean caviar. Talk to you in a bit. Really, this part is boring. It's just making it all into jelly. We know how to do that, most of us. And don't be afraid to experiment. It is the most delicious and beautiful looking jelly I've ever seen. And it comes just from the lilac flowers, some sugar, some lemon juice, and some vanilla caviar beans from inside. It is gorgeous. Yep, there you go, folks. We'll talk more on part 2 about the costs and more information. We'll talk to you later. Time to talk some figures and talk about the lilac jelly that I made. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? We're going to take the caps off. We're going to wash them. We're going to check for seals, and then we're going to talk some figures. So stick with me while I heat up some water. First off, this is lilac vanilla jelly, and I have 10 of the small 4 ounces, and I have 3 of the 8 ounces. And just for clarity and easy sakes, we're going to say I have 16 total, because we're going to divide these into 2. Count these as 2 4-ounce ones. So let's get washing and we'll talk figures, because this was a pleasant one. Okay, we have $2.47 worth of sugar, which I'm going to have to up that because I just bought sugar and it is like really expensive, but this was the $2.47 worth of sugar. We have 23 cents of lemon juice. I did not count the vanilla bean because they were used from when I made vanilla and in my vodka, so I just didn't count them because literally they were ones that people would have thrown away. The Sure Gel was $3.68 a pack, and I used 2 packs. That means my whole batch was $10.06, and since I got 16, we're counting as 16, it's 63 cents for one of these slippery little suckers right now. But I looked online, I couldn't really find any, and I did find some pre-made, store-bought from Amazon, and for a 4.4 ounce jar, it is $9.95. So that's $2.26 per ounce. Times in $2.26 by 4 ounces, because these are 4 ounces, that gives me $9.04 for this. Really? Really. So for $9.04, that means each jar is an $8.41 savings in my pocket. Cha-ching! So for the timesing that by 16, that means this whole batch saved me $134.56. I love you even more. Not to mention, it's absolutely delicious. So if you haven't tried it, you really should. If you can find anybody that has lilacs around, you can do this with probably just about any edible flower that you do not use any pesticides or anything on. Chemical free. If it's a chemical free flower, go ahead and do it. Try it. I might try this with my lavender. My roses? I don't use any chemicals on my roses. That would be fun. Okay, so we are going to test the pH of the lilac jelly that we just did, and I went to go turn the pH tester on, and it apparently is dead already after I tried to do an initial test. Who would have thought I would have had backup batteries? Like, be well organized. This is a testament to being well organized. We're back in business. There it goes, 2.27, 2.27, which means it's water bath safe. Whew, because I could have just been killing my whole family for years now. Just in case you're wondering, if you buy one of these, don't store it with the battery in it. Just gonna show it again. Isn't it beautiful? It's just so pretty. Tastes amazing too. I obviously need to go buy backup batteries. I never buy backup batteries online. I always buy them in a store where I can inspect the packaging, because the ones I get online sometimes are dead. What is this, you might ask? What could this possibly be? I think my brewer friend thinks I'm a little bit more capable of things than I actually am. Because these are the old lilac petals that I picked off for him several weeks ago, and he was making lilac wine with it, and he just brought these over and just plopped them down and left. And I come in the counter and I'm like looking at them, I'm going, oh yeah, that's lilac wine. What am I supposed to do with these? So I was gonna just dump them in the compost bin out back. But now I'm like, let's check the freezer. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I've got 5. Nope, this one is meat, and these are breads and cherries and banana peels. So we get a tray, and you might be asking me, why are you freezing them? If I have an extra space for a tray in my freeze dryer, because I do savories and sweets separately, I do things that won't intermix the smells. If I have an extra space in my freeze dryer, then I might as well fill it up with something and get the load started. So I'm gonna put these on the tray and we'll see how they turn out. Oh, and those bananas are totally another TikTok. You'll have to wait for that one. Have I ever mentioned I have like 20, 30 drafts going on in this world? It's like, okay, what's next? Just wait. Popping this in the freezer and we will start the load tomorrow. It's the next day. Well, actually it's been a couple days and they're done. And because they have alcohol in them, they don't tend to get crispy, because usually when you put something in there, you can crunch it and it will just literally fall apart into a dust. This, not so much. This is more very pliable. So I'm going to package it up in jars because I'm down in the chicken coop right now, dropping trees. Don't tell my husband because he doesn't know where I'm at right now. And then we're going to work on it later. I'm thinking, to remind myself, I'm going to tell you so that you remind me. Actually, I'll play it back so I can remember. I'm thinking focaccia bread, chopped on focaccia bread. I'm also thinking mixed in with breads, maybe mixed in with cakes. And I'm also thinking it would be really cool made into some paper. Right? Paper pulp, and then put this and press this on it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get to packaging it. There we go. For a project to come. I have more lilacs, so let's make some lilac syrup, why don't we? Again, I'm going to have to pull every single petal off of all of the lilacs, petal by petal. And for this recipe, I need about 6 cups of lilacs, so I will be doing 6 cups of petal pulling. I also have 6 cups of water and 6 cups of sugar in a pot, of which I will be heating up to dissolve the sugar and then inserting the petals into the simple syrup to extract all of the flavor and color. 12 hours later. Sugar is dissolved, petals go in. Make sure the heat is off. Look at how quickly they change colors. It's so pretty. We're probably going to let it sit maybe overnight, at least 4 hours. So probably overnight. And after the process of it sitting here, steeping, we're going to strain it and take out all the petals. Then I'm considering adding vanilla bean. I'm like thinking a vanilla bean would be really pretty. However, we're going to water bath can it, 1/2 inch headspace for 10 minutes. I'm not going to add a vanilla bean. I'm just going to can it. So I'm straining it now. Aren't they pretty? They changed a little color. And the liquid is a gorgeous lavender, like purple. Okay, I'm going to finish straining. I'm going to put this liquid back in the pot and heat it up to a boil, and then we're going to can it. It gave me 8 cups of lilac sugar water. So it was a total of 8 cups of liquid. I'm probably going to fill 8.5 half pints. It's a beautiful bluish purple color. And it smells amazing. So let's get it in the hot water bath canner. So this recipe made a complete 9 half pints, which is amazing. We are going to check and make sure that they've all sealed. We're going to get the hot water going, the soapy wash rag, and we are going to uncap, double check the seal, and get going with figures. So here are the figures. It cost me $1.85 to make this complete batch of all 9 half pints, $1.85. That is 21 cents per 8-ounce jar. I looked on Amazon and I knew my grocery store wouldn't have it. I found it online on some website for $18 for 10 ounces. Oh my gosh. That makes it out to be $1.80 an ounce. And when you times it all together, it means I saved $127.71 per batch. So totally doing this again. That's a score. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye. Now you know what I knew. Oh, and don't forget to label, because I almost did. Have you seen the cost of sugar lately? It tripled since what I paid for in 2019.